Sophia, and today I am going to be going over Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. This book was absolutely amazing. It's actually my 4th time reading it. I loved it, obviously, otherwise I would have read it 4 times. It follows Aline as she comes back from Wendolyn and goes to Arwen, and she has this list of things she needs to do. She needs to go and, obviously, take down the king, some other people, the spoilers, and complications arise. But I mean, it's amazing. I loved it. I don't know if you can see it, but I tried to do my eye makeup green and silver for Dressen's colors. It was so good. I absolutely loved it, and I don't know what more I can say without spoiling you, so you need to go read it, like right now.
Go read the book. 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 Yeah!
Okay, so that's the end of the non-spoiler section. Go read the book. Yeah, it's called Queen of Shadows, and you need to read it. Okay, so, always, let's start off with ships.
Rolling. Yeah!
You haven't noticed already. I like Rolene. Let's start off with Aline. Rowan comes back from Wendolyn, and their reunion, he comes back, and Aline turns and takes a step forward, and then she starts sprinting at him and sobbing, and she can't stop crying. She missed him so much, and he's finally here. And then when he asks her why she's crying, I'm crying, she's nippled, because you smell so running bad that my eyes are watering. and then Rowan comes back. She starts walking, and Rowan's walking with Aline towards Eden, and they're just like,
We shall not break eye contact. We shall not break eye contact. I am still watching you. I will not break fast.
oh, not to mention, as Aedion is talking about how they used to talk about Rowan in the war camps, and how Rowan was the most powerful, full-blooded male alive, and his set was all over her, yet she had no god's damn idea. Rowan Whitehorn is a legend, and so is his, what do you call him? Cadre. She's like, the 6 of them. Aedion loosed a breath. We used to tell stories about them around the fires, their battles and exploits and adventures. My note for this.
Aedion, the original thing.
And then when he meets Rowan, it's just,
I will not break the stair. I will not break the stair. I refuse to break the stair.
and then speaking of Aedion, that rescue from the kid, when Aline dressed up as dancer, and they go and play for Dorian's birthday. Like, I just keep thinking, I saw this as on a Tumblr post, and it's just, as I'm reading it, I'm just like, just this. It was like,
King of Arwen, no Dorian, you can't get a clown for your birthday, but you can't have a live execution. Isn't that great?
so the king plans to lure Aline out of wherever he thinks she is, by executing Aedion in his son's birthday party. And he has like all of these word marks that notify him if Aline gets through, and she's so, I love her because she realizes they're there, and she gets the water, and she goes, she's like, honestly, I would probably do this accidentally if I were her. I would actually trip instead of just doing it for a purpose. But she tripped, and she splashed her water that they got her all over the wardrobe, and then she just strolled right in. And then she's this dancer. Well, she's not actually dancing because she's started like crying, and so now she's out there performing. And then they have these double cloaks, and she pulls it over, and she turns from a dancer into the sky, and she waves at someone. He calls those in, and she waves at him. We find out later that was Aravin's like main like supplier or buyer, or he owned a business with him. He owned a business with him, and now that guy's like dragging Aravin's name through the mud. And Aline, I just love her, because not only does she choose like to do like something that like not make her questioned, but she does it so that Arabin loses like a ton of his money, and it's just, I keep doing this. I don't know why I keep doing it, but it's just, it's perfect. And then, not to mention, that dinner, when we find that out about Arabin, and she brings the Vlag in, and he tortures the Vlag, and the Vlag tells him the wrong information. Like, honestly, how did Aline get the Vlag to tell him the wrong information while he's being tortured? And who is this jeweler? Who is this jeweler that keeps like making all this stuff? Like, he made the amulet of Orinth, he made the flagstone, he made Lysandra's ring for her new, she's a lady now, so is that like a territory, or kind of confused? I mean, like, I'm honestly like really wondering who this jeweler is. You know, in Throne of Glass, I can't remember what his name was, but he was the one Aline saved from like dying when he was, did he fall? I think it was like pushed, or his rope was cut. Or they were like scaling that wall, and Aline grabbed a rope and like jumped down and flew down and caught him, and that's where we hear afterwards. Second place is just the name for the first loser. But remember, the guy, he was like a thief or a jeweler or something like that. that he went, I can't remember, but I keep thinking, who is this jeweler? Who is it? So then he gives the Vlag. The Vlag gives the fake ring to Arabin, and Arabin kills him, and then they have that whole dinner. Oh gosh, that dinner. And then Aline and Rowan, it's like they can like mind read? Question mark. I mean, I know like Sarah said that they can't read each other's minds, and it's just how they like look at each other and see the words in the each other's eyes, but like, they have like really detailed conversations. Like, how, I don't know, that dinner, I was laughing so hard as I read what Aline was saying about her dress. And then Rowan's like knee banged into the table. But then afterwards, she gets the amulet, and then Arabin, oh my god. He tries to put her under his control. Like, honestly, I'm not surprised, but like, still. And he was like wearing the green of Teresin. I'm wearing the green of Teresin. To like influence them and control them, and she's like, sound like Harry. He's talking to snakes right now. Just gotta get those Harry Potter references in here. But he takes the fake ring, and he takes it, and he grabs her hand, and he slides it on, and with his nail, he cuts the inside, or not the inside, I think he cuts like right here or something, or is it on his finger? I was like kind of confused, but he slides the ring on, and he cuts his hand, and he goes like this, and takes her blood, and what? And then I was freaking out as Aline walked and was like masked, and she just sat and she didn't show the ring. She gets home and then she just stands there until Aiden talks, and then she just takes the ring off, puts it on the counter. I was just like, I wonder what he would do with that, and I was just like, explosions inside my head right now. Just, I can't. And then afterwards, oh my gosh, when Aline goes and touches Rowan's face and like traces over the tattoo, and he grabs her hand and yanks it off and says, "Don't touch me like that." My shit. And then Aline is like avoiding him, but then even after that happens, she still comes out of it again. But she like turns away from him, and now their interactions are like awkward and stuff, and she's and then the day after, when Lysandra slices Arabin's neck, and just thank you, Lysandra. I hated that man. But Aline comes in, and I love this chapter. I don't know why I love this chapter. Actually, I do. I love seeing Aline and the Assassin's Blade pretense with her. Like, she just comes strolling in, the rage and anger on his face, and she's just like, who killed Arabin? Oh god, that whole chapter. She's like goes off in the sand, and like her acting is so perfect. And I love this. I love this so much. And then we find out that she has all the time she's gone to the bank, she's had, oh gosh, she has been changing Arabin's will, and he originally only left her the amulet of Orith, and now she owns everything, and she kicks Taryn and his buddies out of the key. Harding and Mulligan are made to read, but Turn goes like this to them. And it goes to Aline. What the hell do you want from us? And Aline replies,
honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing you three gutted and hanging from the chandeliers, but I think it would ruin these very beautiful carpets that I am now the owner of.
And they reply, you can't just toss us out. What will you do? Where will we go? And then her reply,
I hear hell is particularly nice this time of year.
oh, that was perfect. I love that. I love that. And then she kicks them all out. Clarice is like pissed because she was supposed to get this huge sum of money from Arabin, and all of it was gifted to Aline except the tiny amount that Arabin still owed to her. And then she sells the whole thing. She sells the whole thing to them. She gives them a couple hours for the Taryn, Harding, and I think it's like Mulligan or something to get their money together, and she sells everything to them. And now she has money for Teresin and for her troops, and yes! But then after they're going home, and they're walking in the dark, and Aline is like still keeping secrets because she's Aline, and Adion is just like starting to figure out, and she just like gives them that stuff, and then Adion goes, and they keep walking, and Roman behind them, they're still not talking because of what happened the night before, and Aline's just, And then Lorcan comes out, but it puts it next to Aline too, and Aline can't even like nod her head, because if she nods her head, it'll slit her throat. And I'm thinking of that, and like, just like, you know how there's like grooves in like your windpipe, just like the grooves of her windpipe moving up and down, sort of, I guess, or like the skin that's like that must have been like. Oh gosh, oh man. And Rowan can't do anything because he doesn't have his power, and Aline doesn't have his power, and Rowan doesn't have time to get to Aline before Lorcan could slit her throat, and Rowan is freaking out, and Lorcan's asking for the amulet, and Rowan doesn't give it to him, but he says later that he almost does, and oh my gosh. But then afterwards, Rowan and Aline gets the thing, and Rowan finally, so happy, and Rowan admits that he missed her, and yes, Rowan, finally. Oh, I loved it, and then Rowan says, if it was death separating us, I would find you. I don't care how many rules it would break, even if I had to get all 3 keys myself and open a gate, I would find you again, always. Yes. Excuse me. And then, so we finally have Rowan. My ship has finally worked out. And then Arabin somehow knew that Aline and Lysandra were friends, and he sent a letter or something to what's his name? The king of Ardalan, saying that how Lysandra was a shapeshifter to get back at Aline. So yeah, sure his thing. And then, so Aline gets captured and is in the prison wagon. She's in the prison wagon, and Evangeline comes and tells Aline, and Aline is trying to separate the 2 friends, and she looks to kill Scar. They go to rescue Lysandra, and they get her out of the wagon, and then they go, and then Kale sees Dorian, and Dorian, oh my gosh, Dorian. I haven't been talking about Dorian. Why? I don't know. But Dorian is inhabited by this flag prince, and it's basically burned through almost all of his barriers, and it's like completely taken control. And then he sees Manon. He sees the eyes of the flag kings, and somehow the prince shies away from the eyes. It's like, no, not the eyes of the flag kings. And Dorian regains control for that moment, and Manon is like, hello, princeling, and Dorian's just like, hello, witchling. We have Dorian coming back to himself, but Kale sees only that Dorian is inhabited by this black prince, and he's like, I'm gonna kill him, I'm gonna put him out of his misery. And so he does the stupidest thing ever. He runs, he sprints towards Manon and the group of witches, the 13, and he's like, I'm gonna kill Dorian! And then Aline sees he's gone, and she runs, and Manon's just like, to Kale. And Kale's just like, that didn't work. Okay. And Aline comes out to save him again. Crown of Midnight again. And she goes and faces Manon, and she says that she's Aline, and Manon's eyes just widen. Because Aline, I haven't been talking about Aline, but Aline has been trapped in Morath, and before it was parents with her uncle, who's the who like got his brother, her father, executed, and is now working with the king of Ardalan and the duke, which you know, apparently the Erewhon. He's working with Erewhon. And Aline's only hope is that Aline made it out alive, and that her mother's sacrifice was in vain, and Aline is still alive. And Aline, she goes like, look, I have the scar of the witch killer and the scent. Like, what is with that? Scars now have sense if they're by a witch. What? And they're like, witch killer. And Manon sprints at Aline, just like, I don't care what Aline said, she killed a witch, she's dead now. And then she rams into this wall, and she was like, that's what she was fidgeting. She wasn't fidgeting, she was doing a work with her foot on Kale's blood, and it was stopping Manon. And then Rowan and Aline are sprinting, and they get to this bridge, and they're running across, and Aline's running across, and Rowan's running across, and one of the witches shoots, and fires an arrow, and it goes towards Aline's heart, and Rowan jumps in front of her. Rowan jumps in front of her, and it goes right through his shoulder, but he doesn't have his fey healing powers, he doesn't have his magic, and so he's just losing blood. And Aline and Manon is jumping, and Aline tells Rowan, run. And he can't, he has to obey the order because the bond with the queen, and so he runs, and oh. And Aline fights Manon, and I love the part. They're fighting with their swords, and then Aline palms fighting knives, and she says, "Swords are boring." And Manon's like, "Indeed," and her claws come out, and they start slicing at each other, and in this temple, which is falling apart, and like the middle of like, basically if they fall off either side, they're dead. You're dead. And then Aline has this thing, and she makes it so that everything falls on Manon, and then Astrid screams Manon's name, and Aline turns back as the thing is falling, and she grabs Manon, and she carries her on the side, and she saves Manon, and now Manon owes Aline a life debt. But then Rowan is passed out, the blood is flowing out of him, and they can't get him far enough, and he almost dies before they get to the wife of the person who manages Nestrin's father's estate, who's a midwife who's like saves Rowan's life. But then Aline still has this life debt that is owed to her by Manon, and so Aline and Kale don't realize that Dorian is still in there, that the Flag Prince hasn't fully broken his like brain, broken his mind or something, destroyed him and taken his body? ? But then Manon goes, and right after the thing with Astrid, I'll get to that in a minute. Oh gosh, Manon's she goes and witch killer. The human is still inside him with Flag blood all over Arlen, and they find out. And for all those that like Dorian, your hopes have been saved by this. So yeah, so now there's a chance to save Dorian and stuff. But then Astrid, I said I would get back to that. Astrid has years ago is flying over, and there's a storm, and she's knocked off her broom, and her arm shatters, and her broom's like completely done for. And this guy brings her to his cabin, and he's there, and it's like they fall in love, and it's like shocking because she's like an immortal witch and he's like a human. So, but they do, and she comes back to, is it the keep? Not the keep. To wherever they are, I can't remember what it's called. She goes back to the Iron Teeth, and she's a month pregnant, and she waits and waits and waits, and finally she thinks the witchling's gonna survive, and Manon's grandma puts on bed rest, doesn't let her see anyone, and then she gives birth, and the witchling is stillborn, and that was tears. But what made it worse is Manon's grandmother didn't even let her hold her daughter, just tossed her in the fire, and then branded Astrid's skin with the words unclean because she had no business trying to have more black beaks. And Manon finally finds out, and Astrid's reinstated to her second, and just, I don't know whether to be happy or cry at this point because we just learned this news, but Manon's now her second, and the relations are good between them, but just, and then we have, whatchamacallit, of course. We have the day that Aline's gonna take over the castle and kill the king. She's obviously not going to kill Dorian anymore. And Rowan and Aedion are supposed to bring these urns of hellfire to the tower. Lorcan has set a trap for Rowan. The word hound just caught Rowan's eye, and Rowan can't blow up the clock tower. And so Aline is left without her magic as she's fleeing with Dorian on her heels, and she slides that ring that grants like not being able to be inhabited by the black onto Dorian's finger that Lorcan gave her in exchange for the amulet of Ori. At that moment, Aline's in the right place, and Rowan finally is able to light the match as Lorcan comes because he finds out that Aedion is Gabriel's son. Oh, finding out that Aedion was Gabriel's son is almost as shocking as finding out that Lysandro is a shapeshifter. Back to the thing, finger starts burning, and it's light, and the flag, there's like a hairline crease on his neck thingy, on his collar, there's like a hairline fracture, and it's glowing, and he's like trying to get it off, but he can't, and the flag is being destroyed. And then Rowan comes back, and they use their power together, they merge powers, ? I'm not even sure what they did, and then they get the flag out of Dorian's father, and then Dorian's father goes on this speech about how he locked up magic to protect the magic wielders, and protect the people, and protect Dorian, and how when he attacked Aline when she was like a kid and Teresin was like still like not conquered, how he like tried to like worm into his mind so she would kill him, but her mother knocked her unconscious so that was impossible, and then Dorian doesn't believe him, so it's like obviously. And so he brings down the entire castle, he brings it all crashing down, and Kale has the Eye of Elena, which saved his life, and he's paralyzed. We find that he's paralyzed from the waist down, and he has to go to the southern continent to see if they can fix his back and everything, and Aline, as the tower is crashing down, as the whatchamacallit, the glass shards can just butcher all the people in the city, she throws up a wall of fire and just melts all the glass into this like wave push. It's like glass. And then she goes out and she would go say, you old slaves, you're dead. You try and rise up against Dorian, you're dead. Yeah, and yada yada yada. If you have a problem with that, you can take it up with my court. Points to Rowan, Faye, teeth, everything. Points to Lysandra and Aeon, and they're grinning. And then she has this fire on her hand, and she's like, or fire winks out, you can take it up with me. Yes. And then we end on the last part, and Aline and Rowan and Lysandra and Evangeline, they go, and she gets to the top of the mountain, and she crosses the rock that marks Horizon with the mountains and everything, and it says, then she stepped beyond the stone, and at long last, Aline, Astrover, Galathinius was home. That ending was so perfect. I loved it. It was so good, and I'm actually so weird, but it was amazing, and I loved it, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. This book ruined me, and it was so good. Yeah, Queen of Shadows, said it to MAAS, perfection. Thanks for watching. Bye!